Good afternoon. My name is Dakota Baldridge, and I'm here to give you a speech about the Constitution of the United States. So, this document was written on September 17th of 1787. It was written by the people, for the people. This piece of paper was made to be the framework of our government going forward. So, today I'm going to cover three different topics. It's going to be why was it needed at the time, who wrote it back 232 years ago, and why is it now today still so important to us Americans living and working and waking up every day. So the why it was written was because 11 years before we had the Declaration of Independence that set us free from England. Now we really just kind of just going off states. They were running their own thing, but our forefathers thought that it was smarter to have a strong central government. So they met in May of 1787 for the Constitutional Convention. That's when it started. So 4 months after, they actually signed the Constitution on September, like I said earlier. So this framework was also the basic human rights for America, for the humans that are coming to America, the 13 colonies. It just lets you know that, hey, we're not going to mess you up kind of like England did us. So, but it also gave the federal government the ability to kind of go in and help with the state's problems because they were fighting, going back and forth. This is my land, this is your land. They kind of came in and they were like, hey, we're going to help, just dispute the battle, and we'll go on from there. So I talked about why it was written, but now who wrote it? So we had a lot of people back in those days in the 13 colonies. So who were the people that wrote it? There was 55 delegates from 12 of the colonies. The Rhode Island didn't show up, and there were, like I said, 55 delegates. So James Madison, the man seen right here, he actually is coined as the father of the Constitution because the majority of his ideas actually went into the Constitution and the framework of it. That they're going to coin him with pretty much writing the whole thing, but he didn't all by himself. It was over a period of time with the delegates. So more notable people that were also there, that were also part of this were Benjamin Franklin and George Washington. So George Washington actually was the president of the Constitutional Convention, so he kind of oversaw everything, and he actually didn't believe in a stronger central government. He was more for states' rights, but he still went forth to see where this would go, and it turned out great. So that's kind of who wrote it. So why is it still needed? 232 years later, why is the oldest and strongest Constitution in the world still going, and why do us Americans need it? Well, it covers our rights as Americans. We have set rights in the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments of the Constitution, that secure our freedom to say what we want, our freedom to pick the religion that we would like. And we can assemble, we can tell our government, hey, we don't like the way that you're doing things and we think you need to do it better. We don't have to worry about being shot in the streets for that. We can wake up every day with a sense of this right that we have. And the most important one to me, though, would be the right to bear arms, because back 232 years ago, they knew that the government could get corrupt. They knew that. They've already seen it, and they were trying to move past that. So they set these 10 bill amendments up in the beginning, saying, hey, we're for sure guaranteeing you these 10 rights. We will add on later on, and they did as it came over, because there's 27 altogether. But it's been over time that they've gained it. When we needed it, we add them. So 232 years ago, we were told that it shall not be infringed, which means the government that was set up 232 years ago will not take our right away to take a gun or speech or any of the amendments, due process, the unlawful seizure of your property. It helps you to feel safe, more or less, in the country you live in. So the recap of all of this, I hit three main points, and it was why? Why was it needed back then? Well, it was needed because they needed a stronger central government to help with the states that were having problems. So the who wrote it? It was multiple people, but the more notable people were James Madison, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin. And why 232 years later, why is it still so important to us Americans every day? Well, it protects us. It protects us from Big Brother, if you want to call it, or the federal government. It helps, or it doesn't help, no, it does. It protects us from ever being infringed upon, and if you ever do, then we can take actions to further that. So I think I did a pretty good job just kind of covering the why, the who, and the why is it still needed of the Constitution of the United States. So with all that, I'd like to say thank you for my guests for being here, and thank you for listening.